sisterhood. When you think back on your life so far, is there one person that stands out as being the most influential? Is it a relative, like a parent or a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle, or could it be a coach or a teacher or your best friend even? Best friend, roommate, tutor, mentor, role model, and big sister. These are all words that I use to describe the most influential person in my life, my sister. My life has been a series of challenges, and through it all, one thing has remained the same: my rock, my sister. Challenges have included learning to read, ride a bike, tie my shoes, going to school for the first time, junior high, we all remember those years, right? High school, college, dating, leaving home, becoming a mom, becoming an aunt, making career choices, just to name a few. As a child and into my adulthood, I moved quite often, approximately every 5 years of my life. And moving has amplified many of these challenges because it seems that it has taken my safety net out from underneath me. My sister has had a profound effect throughout every stage of my life, as a child, as a young adult, as a mother, and as throughout my career choices. My sister means so much more to me than just being a sister. She's been my friend, my roommate, my tutor, and my mentor, and my role model. She is a wonderful teacher, wife, mother, aunt, and she can be funny and sarcastic. She can be serious and tough, but most of all, she is patient, caring, sympathetic, and forgiving. For the first 6 years of my life, we lived in the country, and our closest neighbor was 2 miles away. All we had was each other. And from that relationship blossomed a flower of friendship that has stood through frost and drought. She was my very first friend, and she's always been there for me. We were excruciatingly shy people as children, and my sister would not judge me, and I knew that no matter what, she would forgive me, at least eventually. She was always there for me. As we grew older, we confided in each other, and we shared experience and secrets, and even a wardrobe. I remember my junior prom. In fact, the theme was a night to remember. I wore my sister's prom dress, and she was my chauffeur, and according to my mom, she was also my chaperone. The dress was a perfectly profound shade of purple. It had spaghetti straps and sequins, and I had sassy shoes to go with it. She had worn it the year before, but that didn't matter to me. It was positively perfect. My date, not as perfect. I spent more time with my sister than with him. It truly was a night to remember. I also remember the night we broke up, and I should probably add counselor to my list of adjectives for my sister as well. She was always there for me. When she went away to college, we stayed in touch by writing, and when I went abroad, I was the envy of all the other students because she wrote to me. I routinely received mail. It was like clockwork every week. We would gather around on the tiled porch, and the shade and the coolness of the tile rising up was the only relief from the heat and humidity of the tropics. And we waited for the mail. It was an excruciating wait, and I held my breath waiting for my name to be called. I still have some of those letters that she wrote to me. She was always there for me. As a child, she had my back, and this continues to this day. We were a united front and not to be reckoned with. Everybody knew not to mess with the Wentz sisters, because if you messed with one, you messed with them all. And she was always there for me. She was there for me through several breakups and bad choices. And I remember one in particular. I remember the day I received this package from her. I was so excited I had to open it right there on the spot in front of my boyfriend at the time. And I opened the box, and there was a book in it. And the book was called He's Just Not That Into You. You can imagine the conversation that ensued. Needless to say, she was right. She was always there for me. What's better than a best friend? A best friend that is also your roommate. My sister was my roommate for the first 17 years of my life, and also my housemate after that. As a baby, I was placed in a crib in her room, and when I cried, I was told that she would do one of two things. She would either pull her covers over her head and stuff her head under the pillow like an ostrich sticking its head in the sand, or she would sing to me. She was always there for me. When she left for college and I had to face my senior year of high school without her, I was devastated. I didn't know what I was going to do and whom I was going to have those profound conversations with, those late night conversations where you solve the world's problems and all of life's mysteries. Further, I didn't know who was going to be my alarm clock in the morning. She was the morning person, not me. She was always there for me. About 9 years ago, after living out of state, I decided to move back to Wisconsin, and I didn't have a hometown. I turned to my sister. I had no job and no prospect of a job, and I was bringing an East Coaster with me, and she opened her house to us. Being a caring and empathetic person that opens her house to two jobless, homeless riffraff from the East Coast gives an idea of the selfless person my sister is and reminds me that I still have a lot to learn from her. My sister was my tutor and continues to teach me many things about life as my mentor. I learned how to read from her even before I was in kindergarten. This is might be due to my competitive nature, but I also have to give her a little credit for it. She was in kindergarten and was learning to read, and I couldn't stand the fact that she knew something that I didn't. But she loved teaching me, and whenever she learned something new, like how to tie a shoe or the alphabet, she would teach me. I was an eager student, and I soaked it up like a sponge. As we grew older in high school, she was my algebra and chemistry tutor. And even my senior year, when she was a freshman in college, I called her nightly to help me with my physics. She was always there for me. She always kept a cool head even when I didn't understand things, and I have observed her with her interaction with her kids and mine and her students, and I see she has the patience of a saint with just a twist of sarcasm that is just the right mix to motivate them as well as keep them in line. Now more than ever, she is my mentor and role model. We actually work at the same school, and I get to talk to her every day. She is one of the influences that led me into teaching and going back to school. As a part of the interview process, they asked me whether I was going to be able to work with my sister or not, and I said, of course I can work with her. She's taught me everything I know. She's always been there for me. In addition to her natural ability to teach and her selflessness, there are other many character traits that distinguish her as a good role model, not only for me, but her children and my children as well. She's forgiving and she's determined. When she sets herself a goal, she always accomplishes it. She's inspired me to take on the new career of teaching. Her integrity is impeccable, and she's a true competitive and sarcastic, but she is also supportive and caring as well. My sister moved out to go to college, and I was lost without her. There were times when thousands of miles separated us, but we've always stayed close. And I am excited by the fact that my children are close to their aunt, and I'm even more excited by the fact that I have a great mentor again and that I can talk to her daily and learn from her every day. The fact that my sister has been the one person I could rely on throughout my life, through thick and thin, through rain or shine, through boyfriends and breakups, through career choices and lack of employment, and through marriage and children. I can honestly say that my sister has been the most influential person in my life. I have no doubt that she will continue to be my rock into the future, as she's not only my sister, but also remains my best friend, my role model, my mentor, my sister, my hero. And she's always there for me.